Some of these places were shaped by millions of years of erosion, some by chemistry, some by the slow movement of water through rock. None of them look like they belong on this planet, and none of them were built by human hands. All 5 are real, and all 5 are accessible today, and one of them, the last one in this video, contains a geometric alignment so precise that it frequently attracts theories of a legendary lost civilization. In Bueng Kan province in northeastern Thailand, near the bank of the Mekong River, a sandstone formation rises out of the forest canopy in shapes that take a moment to process. 3 enormous boulders, the largest about 75 meters in length, curve upward from the ridgeline. Their surfaces are smooth, their profiles unmistakable. 75 million years of wind and rain have produced something that looks, from any angle, like 3 enormous whales, surfacing from an ocean that's no longer there. The locals named them Father, Mother, and Calf. They are known collectively as Hin Sam Wan, 3 whale rocks. The sandstone dates to the Cretaceous period. Differential erosion did the rest. Softer rock wore away, the harder cores remained, and the forest grew up around them. From the top of the largest boulder, you can see the Mekong River and the mountains of Laos. The whales, from up there, really do look like they are surfacing. One odd fact about Hin Sam Wan is, from the ground, the boulders look like ordinary sandstone cliffs. Their unmistakable whale-like profiles, the curves, the mass, the sense of something enormous breaching the surface, only become visible from above. Stand at the base, and you see rock. Step back far enough, or look from the air, and 3 whales appear. From the dense green canopy of Thailand, we travel to Patagonia, where glacial water has spent 6,000 years carving a masterpiece from solid marble. General Carrera Lake sits on the Chile-Argentina border in Patagonia. It is fed by glacial meltwater, and its color is unlike any other lake on Earth. A saturated, brilliant turquoise, produced by fine glacial particles suspended in the water, scattering light in the blue-green spectrum. At the lake's edge, 6,000 years of waves have sculpted a cave system into the marble bedrock. The marble caves, or cuevas de marmol, the turquoise water fills the lower portions of the caves. Light reflecting off the surface plays across the marble walls above, shifting with the sun. In the morning, the walls appear golden. By midday, they are blue-green. In the evening, they shift toward violet. The color comes entirely from the lake outside. The caves are accessible only by boat or kayak. No road reaches the peninsula. The water level of the lake changes with seasonal glacial melt, which alters how much of the cave system is accessible and how the light enters. There are 3 main formations: the marble cathedral, the marble chapel, and the marble cave, each with a different interior geometry and a different relationship to the light outside. From a lake carved into marble by water, we travel to a plateau in Russia where stone itself has been left standing in shapes that have no obvious explanation. On a remote plateau in the Komi Republic of Russia, 200 million years of erosion have left 7 stone columns standing on a ridge. The shortest is 30 meters tall. The tallest reaches 42 meters. Each one is slightly different. One resembles an inverted bottle, another a hooded figure. The plateau around them is otherwise empty. They appear against the skyline like something deliberately placed. They are called the Mandupuner formations, from the Mansi language, meaning small mountain of idols. The Mansi people regarded these columns as sacred. Their oral traditions held that the pillars were giants turned to stone. When Russian explorers reached the plateau in the 19th century, their Mansi guides refused to accompany them to the formations themselves. The geological explanation is more mundane, but still remarkable. The surrounding rock was a softer material that weathered and eroded over hundreds of millions of years. The columns are made of sericite quartzite schist, a significantly harder composition that resisted the same processes. As the landscape around them was stripped away, they were left standing. Getting to them today requires either a helicopter or a week-long trek through roadless wilderness with no trails, no facilities, and no infrastructure. They are officially one of the 7 wonders of Russia. Most Russians have never seen them in person. From a frozen plateau of standing stone, we go to a place that could not be more different, a tropical island where the ground itself has become a forest of razors. The word Tsingy comes from the Malagasy language. It means, approximately, the place where one cannot walk barefoot. Standing at the edge of Tsingy de Bemaraha in western Madagascar and looking out over it, The name makes immediate sense. What stretches to the horizon is a forest, but not of trees. It is a forest of limestone pinnacles, each one razor sharp, rising from the ground in irregular columns that reach up to 100 meters in height. The formation covers 1,500 square kilometers. It is the largest Tsingy in the world, and it is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The limestone formed from coral reefs 200 million years ago. As the sea retreated, slightly acidic rainwater dissolved the rock along its cracks, leaving the harder sections standing as pinnacles. Walking through the Tsingy is only possible on a network of suspended bridges and metal walkways. The razor-sharp limestone can easily cut through footwear. Guides strongly recommend sturdy hiking boots. Despite the terrain, the Tsingy is full of life. Lemurs have adapted to move across the limestone in ways that seem physically impossible, leaping between pinnacles, clinging to near vertical faces, navigating the razor edges with feet calloused specifically for this surface. Chameleons move across the rock with their slow, deliberate grip. The Madagascar fish eagle nests in the crevices, in the gorges between the pinnacle fields, where the walls block the wind and moisture collects at the base. Dense forest has grown, entire ecosystems hidden inside a landscape that looks completely uninhabitable from above. Life found the gaps and filled them. From a limestone forest in Madagascar, we travel north, to a desert, and to the last place on this list, the one we saved for the end. In a remote corner of the Sahara Desert in Mauritania, there's a structure that is 50 kilometers across. It is almost perfectly circular. It consists of concentric rings of rock, like the growth rings of a tree, or the iris of an enormous eye, visible from orbit with the naked eye. Astronauts on early space missions used it as a navigation landmark when flying over Africa because nothing else in the entire Sahara looks remotely like it. At ground level, you cannot see it at all. Its symmetry is only apparent from above. It is called the Risha structure, and for a long time, nobody agreed on what it was. The first proposal was a meteor impact crater. The geometry supported it, but analysis found no evidence of shock metamorphism. The real explanation, the Risha structure, is a deeply eroded geological dome pushed upward by volcanic activity and worn down over millions of years. The concentric rings are layers of rock of different hardness. Softer layers became valleys. Harder layers remained as ridges. The structure has also attracted a different kind of attention. Plato's ancient text described Atlantis as a city built on concentric circular islands. The Risha structure, a series of concentric rings, 50 kilometers across, sitting in a flat desert, visually matches that description closely enough that internet theorists have been making the comparison for years. Mainstream geology and archaeology dismiss the connection entirely. The geology of the site shows no evidence of habitation at scale, and the timeline does not fit. But the theory has never quite gone away, partly because the visual match is genuinely striking, and partly because the Risha structure is remote enough that most people have never been there to see what it actually is. What it actually is, ancient, layered, precisely eroded rock, and one of the most visually distinctive geological features on Earth.